So I guess I've got to the point in my life where I go live on Facebook right out of bed without any makeup or anything. So there you go. I am down in my basement where I have wedding things. That's the dress Elena wore for her elopement. It was also my junior prom dress. These are the piles of things to go to the reception. I mean, not all of the things down here are piles of things to go to the reception because it's our storage basement. But I am getting ready to go out to look at one of my favorite things that we are prepping for this wedding, which are the flowers, because I'm growing some of them and fixing a lot of them. All those buckets over there on Wednesday will hopefully be full. I'm in my former homeschool room that I still have not unassembled. I have it all set up and ready to go. There's ribbons and moss and water picks and containers to put centerpieces in, all the things, and jars. I have like 33 jars and boxes and catering boxes from work to carry the centerpieces and such. But I thought I'd take you out here. Some of you might know I like flowers. I really do. So we're going to look at the roses, which she doesn't even really want roses, but I like roses. And I have like 18 blooms. I was so afraid I wouldn't have any. I just flip this thing around, right? Yeah. So these are my Pearly May roses. Are those just, oh, they're exquisite. This one's so pretty. I caught some Japanese beetles trying to eat it yesterday, but aren't these beautiful? I'm so excited. But if the Japanese beetles get them, that's what they'll look like. So there are tons of buds. I am so thrilled and excited. So at least her bouquet will have some of them. The bright colored ones, the buds are pretty tiny, and these have been decimated by beetles, so those don't even look pretty. So I'm hoping that those will, I don't know, survive and be better. I'm going to turn on the water here, and I'm going to show you. You can see my pile of dead things. So I thought it would be a great idea to plant a mandevilla in the shade. Well, I'm just a goofball. So over here are my hydrangeas, however you say that. This bush I've had for probably 5 years, maybe longer. It's beautiful. It has probably at least 200 blooms on it. And my daughter says she doesn't want white flowers. So I actually ordered floral dye that you spray. It's like a spray paint made for flowers. And I'm going to turn some of these into coral pink / orangey flowers as fillers in her bouquet. And then listen to those. What is that, cicadas? She said in the centerpieces and such, they're okay if they're white. So I probably won't dye all of them, but aren't they beautiful? And then I have zinnias, but not in the colors she wants. So I have not one, but two lovely friends. There's some roses. I may be using some of these for the corsages. The colors through my phone isn't great, but they are coral, like verging on pink. And these are just fun, sunshine. And I'll be able to use a few of these, because zinnias are my main filler flower for all the arrangements. But she wants colors of the sunset. And look, these are just so bright. They're like candy. Aren't they great? But I'll be able to use some of the yellows if they come up a little softer. Maybe some of the oranges. The pinks are too pink or purpley, except for this one. Look at this one. It's perfect. I'm hoping this one stays this week and doesn't go. They just popped into bloom. And more of my coral roses with lots of buds. So I have high hopes to be using these for the boutonnieres maybe, or corsages for the grandmas. And then this is my new bed I put in for the wedding, this flower bed. It doesn't get a ton of sun, but it gets really hot over here. It's on the west side of the house. And so I have some cosmos that I bought at a nursery that's blooming, and then all the ones I planted from seed are just ferny. These are fantastic. These are my big snapdragons. They're a little early, but I think as long as I water them through these 100-degree days, I think these are going to be able to use. And then these are my special Floret Farms Dawn Creek Honey zinnias that are this faded, muted yellow color, which is great. And I'll be able to use all of these. And then these haven't bloomed. I'm so sad because these are some corals and such. And then these are a different kind of cosmos. So it's a different foliage, and they are supposed to be brights. So they're supposed to be yellows and oranges, which I'm really hoping aren't too garishly bright and are a little softer, but I don't know. But they have great foliage, so I might use some of this greenery and lots of buds. But again, it had more sun, it would be better. So I have one more. I'm walking around front here. I just water that bed with a soaker hose every morning, and sometimes in the evenings. Unfortunately, she doesn't want rutabaga. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, I just love it. And then here are more. These are my, I think it was called fruit smoothie zinnias, or zinnias, however you say it. I say it both ways. They are fantastic, but they are way too bright. But they're so fun. I mean, look how tall those things are. That's great. And then more rutabaga. And I have these pretty cone flowers that are white. I like those a lot. And then this rose I actually bought for the wedding too, because why not? But oh, so beautiful and lovely. And I just don't know. I mean, there are a few buds coming up here, and there's 2 of them. This one has this has a few too. And it may surprise me, you know, they may really pop out here. But I think that's all. Okay, now I'm getting off of wedding. This looks horrible. This is an apple tree that's so loaded with apples that are unedible that it's breaking, and I want it chopped down. And I actually asked my son-in-law to chop it down today, parts of it. It was Kai's. He literally started this thing from an apple he ate, like, what are we getting to, 13 years ago? In a solo cup. So, I mean, it has sentimental, and Kai doesn't want to get rid of it, but I do. Then look at this thing. This is a sunflower on the east side of my house that came up volunteer in my front garden bed this summer. And so I transplanted it back here, and it's leaning because the house gives it too much shade, I think. So I have it tied up with like a hose. Look, it's like straining that. This is like an old garden hose that didn't work. And it's so massive. I mean, if it was straight up, it would be almost to my kitchen window, which just cracks me up. So, okay, well, if you are not a flower person and you made it this far, kudos to you, because that's what you got to see today. I finished the bustle last night on Elena's dress. We were going to do a traditional American over bustle with it kind of draping down, but her dress, it kind of looked like it was like a fountain coming out of her backside, and we were like, And I'd been hemming and hawing on it, and so we were just playing with it while she was doing a fitting last night, and decided to do what's called a ballroom bustle, and it looks fantastic. The detailing on the back of her dress is really pretty, and so it's also called an invisible bustle. So really the whole train flips up and under, and then hooks with hooks underneath the lining of her dress, and then it just looks like a ball gown that just grazes the floor and doesn't have the train for her to trip on and stuff. And I can't tell you how pleased I am. And it wasn't too difficult to do. I sewed on probably 14 little hooks or eyes to do it, rather than do the buttons and the loops and mess with all of that. And we put it on the mannequin, all bustled, and it looks great and so lovely. So I have 2 more little appliques to stitch on the front from when I had to remove them to do the hem, and then it is done. Just needs steamed, and she's just gonna look, she's a beautiful bride. So it's really sweet. Really excited about that. And that wraps up my sewing, except for, of course, my dress. So maybe one of the Chronicles that come to you will be, me hemming my dress, which is pinned sloppily with safety pins at this point, but needs to be hemmed to like 3 to 4 inches. It'll get done. It's fine. Other than that, I'm gonna get ready for work, have a cup of tea, say some prayers. I'm really trying to be, my counselor is like, head up. What does she say? Open your chest, head up. Be thankful. And I am so thankful that we're able to have this fun party and celebrate them. And it's going to be a good week. I hope you have a good week. Bye.